a lot of what we're talking about today, but I think we have just been taking this to the next level, and that is resort style backyards, which I think you can speak to a little bit more than me because we have been doing some crazy stuff this last year.
Yeah, our landscape team has been just blasted with clients. Like we even get clients that just want to work on landscape only. It is crucial nowadays. If you want to make money and be a top comp and stand out, you have to do something to your backyard. You cannot no longer just have a fire pit and chairs back there. I mean, when I say this, I'm talking about major markets. If you have a small little casita, like I don't think it's the end of the world to have nothing back there. But if you have a large property or a property in a main area or a little bit outside, you need to maximize your yard as much as you possibly can. This is a property that we have. It's actually our property. And we added a mod pool. We added a Texas-shaped mini golf. We added a fire pit and chairs, a half pickleball court. Not every property can fit a full pickleball court, but it's okay to get creative and do half or a single pickleball or just a basketball court. At the end of the day, what you're doing is just drawing more eyes to your property and making the listing scroll stopping. Who cares what the data says? If you can afford it and it makes sense to your bottom line, add as much as you can.
Yeah, which does bring forward kind of an unfortunate reality of, I think, the industry, if I'm being honest, because I've been talking about resorts and everything, and a lot of people are like, well, at what point does it become an amenities arms race? And I kind of think, I mean, it is. I think we're here. I think this, like for a long time, short-term rentals could get by with really nice IKEA and Target, just modern furniture that you could get off of, like Amazon and some of these other kind of big box retailers. And now I think we're at this point where big money has moved into the space. More savvy investors have moved into this space. And yeah, a lot of these properties can cost anywhere from 50 to 200K to launch. But generally speaking, from what we're seeing, the ROI and the cash on cash return very much mimic, well, not mimic, but very much are commensurate. Like we're getting really big returns for a lot of our clients with the amount of money that they're actually putting into their properties.
Right. Like this property, for example, is making 30K a month in April and May and June and July and August and September, and it's absolutely crushing it.
There was another property that we did for Abby in Dallas, which is, again, Dallas, not really much of a travel destination, but we made it a travel destination, and I think he's on track to do 350K or something like that this year.
I believe that's what we're projecting, and they went live, and I think in the first 2 weeks had 80K in future bookings, so they're killing it. And there was nothing like this, and that's kind of what we can talk about a little bit later, but they went way beyond the data. There was no property that had more than a pool in that area. So they went above and beyond, but that's what's going to last them years to come instead of just having to keep update and change. Another property that we just did in Bradenton, Florida for a client is the Palms House, and they absolutely maximized every single square inch of their property as well. They had a big property. We did 4 murals, maximized every single square inch, literally to the, put tons of money into this property, and it is absolutely crushing it already.
Yeah. Now, with that said, we do design smaller properties. We do actually design condos. Like when we have a smaller space and more constraints, we definitely think outside of the box in the design world, and those clients are crushing it too. But we are seeing a lot of this movement in the space, and I think this is kind of what I said in last week's video too. I think this is going to be our big competitive advantage against hotels.
Yes, if you're going to buy a property, I would highly, highly recommend the biggest backyard that you can find.
These all kind of flow into each other. So why don't we move into number 5, which are immersive amenities, meaning not just a hot tub, but something that's actually an experience that cannot be replicated anywhere else.
Yeah, and these are always fun because sometimes the guests are shocked and they don't even realize that it's there until they arrive, and they just are more happy and leave a great review. I know, Rob, you've experienced that a lot with your pink pickle. Mm-hmm. We have a secret button that we actually surprised Rob with, and it's a secret button, and then you press it and you wait a second, and then Dancing Queen comes on and it full blast in the house, and then the disco ball rotates, light flashes. It's a total immersive experience, and this is the only marketing that he has on your page for it, right?
Yeah, I like it to be a surprise amenity. What we're going to do is we're going to play that clip now, but we're only going to play 3 seconds because we'll get struck down for copyright infringement. But check it out. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. The great thing about this button is that it plays for 1.5 minutes. You can't turn it off. We call it our hype button.
You're held hostage.
And yeah, you're held hostage. And what's really funny is if they keep pushing it, they keep adding 1.5 minutes to it. So I wonder how many people have had this playing in the house for like 5 minutes. It makes me giggle, but no one has ever complained about it because it's awesome. And it was at the Dancing Queen. I actually got into the attic the other day and changed it to Shania Twain's I Feel Like a Woman because I was feeling like a woman that day. And I was like, let's do it. Let's switch it up.
Yes, woman era. I love that. And once again, honestly, a lot of the times we find that guests actually with our Funkit design properties tend to be happier people and they leave better reviews. And they also, when things go wrong, inevitably, like the dishwasher not working or some small detail, it doesn't matter. They're like, hey, no worries. We're all good. The house is beautiful. Like, they appreciate how much thought and effort went into it. And so I know for this, if there was something wrong with your shower, Rob, but this worked, I feel like it would just even out a little bit. Obviously, you need a shower.
Super forgiving. I think
what I mean.
For me, when there's an amenity that blows you away, nothing can get you a 4-star review. I genuinely believe that. And that property's reviews do show for it. And the revenue, is proof in my opinion.
Yeah. And another cool thing that we did was create this like kids play set, like play track, I guess. I am not a parent, so I don't know how much kids will love this, but this was
they would love it. This is the most epic thing I've ever seen for sure.
Okay. We really there was no data to say this worked, but we had a huge amount of space that we could do something cool with, relatively affordable, not like super, super expensive, like a whole pickleball court or something, a bunch of turf, but we made it cool. We maximized the space and now it's just another thing to have you stand out.
Yeah, this is I'm just so happy to have this in the portfolio because I think people are very often scared to take a risk like this, a quote unquote risk, right? But I think now the more of this stuff that we do, people come to us with these amenity ideas. So this is a call to action for anyone at home. If you've got a crazy amenity idea, bring it to us and we'll absolutely look at it and consider it because we love doing something that's never been done before in this space. I mean, that's my happy place.
I have to show you guys a landscape that we're doing right now for a property in Austin. We're doing a custom built pirate ship in the yard.
No way. Really?
And so it's actually way bigger than that in real life. But it's so sick and it actually has like a rock climbing wall on the side and the kids can play on it. And so the whole thing is like a Cactus Cove, like pirate themed on the outside. So it just adds to me, like, there is no data to say that this would ever work, but it's sick and it's something different and unique and a way to just stand out when everyone's starting to look the same.
This goes into the world, kind of a phrase that I mean, I don't know if I coined it, but I call it making your Airbnb instantly bookable. And there are certain things as a parent, just because this is speaking to my heart, you see it and you're like, I don't care, I'm booking this place. Like, I'm not going to run it by the group. I'm not going to show my wife. I'm just booking it because I know that this will be like a life-changing Airbnb moment with my family, and I want to do it. And so, kudos. This is really cool. We have to go shoot here when it's ready. Let's do a podcast from the ship when it's done.
On the ship, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, last thing, I could get really carried away, but I really want to show you guys this property. This property is crushing it. I should have probably talked about it with theme, but it's the Banana Beach House. Super fun, super immersive, very, very kid-focused in Clearwater Beach, which is a very big family market.
And a bit of a lifestyle photography.
There is a little banana, and you'll see in a sec. But super fun, very vibrant for your kids. Like, obviously, guys, this is not going to be what you want your personal home to be, so don't leave a comment and say that's ugly as fuck, because, like, obviously this is more of an experience, like a Disney cruise, something like that. But we converted the garage, created a cool room where we have the bunks, but we also have kid play set, and we made sure to have pads and a lot of thoughtful detail. This is like the ice cream shack with sprinkles. We have a banana themed game room. Let's go bananas. The client was actually gonna put bananas on the ceiling, fake ones, but that didn't happen. We have some fun lifestyle shots where there's actually a hidden banana man not floating. Oh my God, what if he was levitating?
Man, anything can happen with Photoshop.
Our client even added a lifestyle shot of a man in a banana suit, which is very fun. So just unique ways to stand out and really lean in and, who's to say that would work, but it does.
A little Easter egg. Well, you talked about the data didn't say to do a pirate ship, but we did it anyway. And I think that's just as good of a segue as any for the final trend. And something that we think is very important, I think this is one of our core values at Funkit, and that is number 6, going beyond the data. What does that mean for us? Like, why is that such a big part of our mission?
That is everything for Funkit. Because, guys, when I tell you, when we look at data, I am blown away at the properties that are performing well now. And if I were to design our clients' properties, how the top comps in most locations are, they would fail in a year or two. So these properties that were once performing well look great on the data because they have all this time and experience being listed on the platform. But we have to go beyond that and think, what properties are coming up that we haven't seen that's on AirDNA? What properties, what are people going to do and invest in? It's only going to get more and more competitive. So how can we go above it? So like Rob's Pink Pickle, there were no girls trip houses in Austin, but we know.
Not really. Yeah. And certainly not out in the boonies the way I am. I mean, it's not in the boonies, but it's 20 minutes outside of downtown, and it really has, there's nothing about the location that's going for it. I guess I'll put it
right. No. And we knew that Austin was huge at bachelorettes. There was nothing like it. But pickleball is in. There's nothing there at the time. And now it's a huge thing. Now everyone's doing it. So always thinking of ways to keep competing and staying above the standard is our mission. And so one really kind of cool thing I wanted to show you, this is a really sick property. Now, I will say this was my client's idea of making this sports court insane. He brought this vision to us. He's incredible. But we designed this really sick mural and made it so scroll stopping. You're telling me you wouldn't at least stop the scroll and be shocked and send this to someone?
Not even a question. When you sent me this render, like you had designed it, I was like, how are they going to pull this off? Because I didn't even know pickleball court installers could do this.
Right. I know. It's insane. It's so the new thing is just trying new things, and it will work if you just like do it with confidence and do it well. Like if you try it yourself, I don't know about that, but like hiring someone that has the eye for that is so great. And so we did tile on the pool edges that stands out and like looks way different. And you know, it's a standard pool, but now it looks cool and different and fun. And
that's one example of a pickleball court. I think we recently did another pickleball court that was fairly colorful too. And I think the idea is the data says pickleball courts in this market do X amount more. And so we could just go and design a pink or a blue or a green pickleball court. But we're saying, like, how do we one up the best pickleball court, and how do we do something that hasn't really been spoken for in the data quite yet?
yeah, and you guys, you don't have to have anything insane. Like I know we've been talking about really huge, massive, crazy properties. We do 2,000 square foot and under mostly. Not every client can do this, has the budget for. We're really good at maximizing our clients' budget, like normal people budget. Like we're not going to do Pottery Barn and Restoration Hardware. Like we're great at finding gems and making cool spaces out of like generic white boxes. And something interesting that I pulled up is we have a client who has a property in Cody, Wyoming, and it's the rodeo capital of the world. These are the cabin. Like, okay, it's fine. There's nothing like spectacular about them, but at all. But I mean, they're not bad, but there's nothing crazy about it. It's the rodeo capital of the world. Like it is a cowboy city. And so what we're doing for our client is we're creating a really cool experience that's going to absolutely show what this property is. And I have no doubt that it will be top one property. So even if you know that like none of the comps are doing it, you should still do it if it makes sense for the location. Don't do a Citrus Shack in Kentucky. Don't do Dirty Martini in Salt Lake City, Utah. But know your market and make it insane.
So a good, just to bring that back, I mean, the what'd you say, the Citrus Martini or the
Citrus Shack? The
Citrus Shack in Kentucky, you wouldn't want to do that. You would want to do like the Bourbon Bachelor Pad, something that actually makes sense for the market, because a good theme is good so long as it makes sense for the people that you're trying to appeal to. But if that avatar isn't traveling to that location, you really do need to dive into the data and understand like who is my target audience here. This is something that we talk about so often on this channel.
Yeah.
And just so you know, like, so you understand the way that we interpret data, we aren't just taking comps on AirDNA and using that as data. We are scrubbing the data. We're making sure that it's a viable comp. We're making sure that it's been tracked for 270 days or more. We're making sure it has more than 20 reviews. And then we make an entire report, just maybe scroll through this so people can see. But we're actually going in and literally looking at the average daily rate. We are looking like we put together an amenities checklist and actually go one by one with every single comp to see, do they have a pool? Do they have a driveway? Do they have an electric charger? Do they allow pets? Do they have king size beds? Yes, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. And we're using that to compile all of the data. And then from there, that's where we start running with kind of ideas and themes and amenities to make sure that it's even going to be a fit for this market or this avatar.
Totally. And guys, if you looked at this and you saw, oh wow, no sauna, no cold plunge, no pickleball, nothing, I'm just not going to do it. What would happen if you were the one that did have a sauna or you did have a sauna and a cold plunge duo, you would get booked over these every day. Even if you kept your prices exactly the same, you would have a way higher occupancy rate. So it's not always about ADR. Like, you can just have great occupancy if you're just the one that's a little bit better than everyone else's, or way better, going beyond the data.
Hey, by the way, if you liked this conversation, I've got good news for you. There's way more where that came from. If you want to watch the whole thing, click right here.